Mercy, mercy, Miss Mercy, how the mighty have fallen. The single best single-target healer capable of reviving allies on a whim at launch is now outperformed by Grandma with a gun, and unfortunately her pick rate is a good 30% away from resurrection. On a more serious note though, all cards on the table, Mercy is my most played hero at over 18 hours because she was the easiest transition for me to make to Overwatch from Team Fortress 2. She's the medic, with wings, and flight, and kindness, and grace, and beauty, and... Yeah, she's not a hero you play with the anticipation of getting play of the game or racking up kills. Her primary function is geared toward healing. She's the only healing support hero in the game who can't be healing or dealing damage in a single given moment. Lucio and Zenyatta are literally capable of doing both at once, while Ana only has to slightly adjust where she's looking to switch between damage and healing. If she wants to fight back in any capacity, Mercy is at the, mercy of switching weapons in the middle of a team fight and can't heal her teammates until she switches back to the Caduceus staff. Another issue that a good number of people frequently express problems with is Mercy's lack of mobility. However, she has Guardian Angel, which allows her to traverse great distances in minimal time with ease. All she requires is a direct line of sight with an ally to be able to do it. But outside of that, yeah, her mobility is trash because she's completely at the, again, mercy of her teammates' current positioning. But if you think about it, of the 5 support classes in the game, only one of them has increased mobility options, and that's Lucio with his wall ride and speed boost. The major differences between Mercy and other support heroes becomes more noticeable on a different front. When by themselves, Lucio has a knockback and mobility, as well as the ability to attack while utilizing both. Zenyatta has absolutely zero mobility, but has his Discord Orb combined with his attacks to make up for it. His recent 50 HP buff really helped him out too. Ana fires hit scan shots for 80 HP of damage, has a biotic grenade that heals her for 100 HP, and ups her healing from all sources by 100%, while simultaneously hurting the enemy for 60 HP and blocking all healing sources on them for 5 seconds, and her coup de grace, a 5.5 second sleep dart. She has plenty of options for self-preservation and escape. That leaves Mercy, also Symmetra, but shut up! She's got all of a Caduceus Blaster, a weapon that has an incredibly slow-moving projectile with 20 shots before requiring a reload, 20 HP per shot, at 5 shots per second. That's it, that's all. The world is cruel, smile through the pain! At time of writing, Mercy is getting a 20% healing per second buff on the PTR, taking her healing from 50 HPS to 60. And while I think it is nice and I do agree with the change, Mercy has never had major issues pumping out heals. It's what she's geared toward doing, and she can do it well, except when she's dead. And killing Mercy isn't particularly hard for the more mobile flankers or anyone who puts their mind to it. Mercy needs a few minor tweaks to aid her survivability in any given instance, and I do believe her current kit of abilities can be modified ever so slightly to help her achieve this. But if I'm gonna do this whole suggestion shtick again, why not have a little fun with it? First, I'm going to suggest some moderate and simple changes to her current kit to aid her survivability. Then, I'm going to suggest some more radical changes for the hell of it. The first ones are changes I think could genuinely work, without greatly overpowering her. The second are more in the vein of my previous Symmetra video. They aren't changes I would legitimately suggest, and I certainly don't expect them to come into existence. They're just for fun. So without further ado, let's get started. Similar to Symmetra's photon projector, the Caduceus staff at present functions fine and does the job that it needs to do in any given moment, healing and damage boosting. I don't think it needs any changes beyond the ones Blizzard is currently experimenting with on the PTR. The Caduceus pistol, while underwhelming, is also fine by me. It's not going to add a lot to a full-scale firefight, but even with the slow-moving projectiles, it can serve as a good personal defense weapon or deterrent for Mercy at close ranges. I feel it's intentionally designed to be less impressive to encourage people playing Mercy to focus on her supportive functions, which is good design in my book. So yet again, here we are. I believe this hero's biggest needed changes are in one of her secondary abilities and her ultimate. Let's start with the former. Since the fall of Overwatch, Dr. Angela Ziegler has taken to aiding those in the areas most affected during the Omnic crisis, where there is certainly no shortage of need for qualified medical practitioners. Using her Valkyrie Swift Response suit, Mercy is capable of being a first responder by zipping around any given location to provide aid to those who need it. Guardian Angel is the in-game representation of the suit's function. All Mercy needs is a line of sight on any ally, living or dead, within 30 meters, and she can zip across that distance in any direction in less than half the time it would take her to walk. The biggest problem with attempting to utilize Guardian Angel is that it's based on line of sight, meaning Mercy's ability to maneuver is dependent on the positioning of her team, and there's nothing she can do to directly influence them to act in her favor. Even if she asks, the longer a match goes on, people are almost certain to move from the positions that are most useful to the likes of Mercy to get around. So, how do we fix this? Some people want Mercy to be able to use Guardian Angel through walls, allowing her to beat those moments where an ally above is just barely over the lip of an edge, and you can't get to them for help. While this would allow her to support her team a little better, I don't think it would be too fair. At present, we know an enemy Mercy can use Guardian Angel to escape to distant teammates, but allowing her to escape towards a teammate you couldn't even see potentially makes her into too good of an escape artist, which could prevent her from being reliably pinned down. My suggestion? Slightly increase Guardian Angel's targeting aura around teammates. An extra few meters of range for Mercy to target won't affect those moments where a teammate is either on the other side of a wall or even charging down the main path of the map, but it could give her just what she needs to be able to get to allies who are just beyond her direct line of sight, which helps her perform her primary function and gives her a slightly better escape option in the same scenarios. That's it. There's not much else to say about it, and I honestly don't think it's asking for too much. As for Resurrect, her ultimate has received a moderate amount of rework from Blizzard. The charge cost was increased by 30%, she's allowed to move now, Guardian Angel resets upon Resurrect's use, and a current PTR tweak allows resurrected teammates to start moving in 2.25 seconds instead of a full 3. My quick thoughts? The increased charge cost was more than fair in my book, as it was a bit too easy to build up an ult before that particular patch. Allowing her to move when using Resurrect has helped a fair amount since she's not a stationary shoot-me target anymore. Guardian Angel's immediate reset is still incredibly situational due to its team-based dependency. As for the most recent PTR changes, the patch notes say Resurrection now allows teammates to jump back into the fight more quickly, which should help Mercy survive after activating her ultimate. While I feel the intention was good, I don't think they're tackling Mercy's survivability the right way. They're trying to indirectly help Mercy survive through her teammates, but she needs something for herself. My suggestion is inspired by Resurrect's visuals. Upon utilizing her ult, Mercy disperses a heavy concentration of the biotic gel, gas, plasma, whatever it is. The stuff radiates from her in a massive burst, and that theoretically is what gives her friends a jumpstart back to life. So why doesn't it give Mercy a personal benefit as well? The idea. Upon use, Resurrect brings nearby allies back to life and gives Mercy a massive temporary boost to self-healing. 100 healing per second for 2 seconds, which gives her a full health bar just before her friends are able to return to the action, or 70 to 75 healing per second for 3 seconds, the equivalent of getting shot by Ana 3 times. Both give her a better chance of surviving the ult, but don't straight up make her invincible. Concentrated fire, sniper headshots, burst damage abilities, and combos like Roadhog's hook would all be capable of killing her, but utilizing her own awareness and the ability to move mid-ult, Mercy would have a better chance of getting out of the engagement alive under her own power. And that's all I got for small tweaks to better improve her abilities as they are. Now, let's go a step further and have some fun talking about other ideas I've seen. The most common suggestion I've seen people push for regarding Mercy is adding an extra mobility ability. Right now, she only has Guardian Angel and Angelic Descent. Healing and damage boost are technically her weapon, and they have no cooldown, so I don't consider them abilities per se. But a good chunk of people want Blizzard to give her a quick use, long cooldown height boost ability comparable to Pharah's Jump Jet. And it could work. Mercy and Pharah have the same health, and similarly have the same ability to slow their descent. As it is now, Pharah isn't exactly invincible in the sky, so I don't suspect giving Mercy such an ability would make her impossible to take down. The gist of the idea is to give Mercy a better view of the area, and potentially allow her to get a line of sight on allies she can't get from the ground, which can allow her to utilize Guardian Angel to assist her escape, or supportive functions. It's not really a broken idea, and it gives Mercy that thing she so desperately needs: the ability to utilize her own skills to keep herself and others alive. Another interesting idea I saw was to give Mercy a quick-use, brief-lasting, long cooldown stun similar to Flashbang with a small AoE radius around her, using her wings to create that bright yellow flash of biotic energy. It's interesting to say the least. It gives her a moment to look for someone away from the current danger, which she can use Guardian Angel to get away from in the event someone wanted to get all too fresh with Mercy and get up in her face. And let's face it, who doesn't want to do that on a regular basis? She's a primary target, you sickos. My biggest issue with this idea is that while it does give her a self-reliant survival ability, it also gives her a potential active combat ability to use in conjunction with her weapon. Granted, only people who aren't playing Mercy as intended would attempt to utilize it in such a way, but I think Blizzard's actively tried to stay away from giving Mercy such abilities, to encourage her players to focus on healing and boosting over attempting to rack up kills. Not that she'd be able to do it with such a brief stun, but you could be sure people would try, and either get themselves or teammates killed in the process, so it's probably not for the best. Not impossible, but not for the best. In the same vein, I've seen suggestions for giving Mercy a supportive burst AoE as well. Same thing, Mercy uses her wings to let out that biotic flash, and allies around her get a small burst of concentrated healing. It seems like Ana's biotic grenade to me, and I'm not in favor of giving a hero's abilities away to others for the sake of trying to boost them, because it takes away some of their unique contributions to a match. However, you could make the ability into a debuff cleanser instead. In the world of Overwatch, Mercy is called a peerless healer. So the ability to remove debuffs like Venom Mine, which needs a buff by the way, Orb of Discord, Sleep Dart, and Healing Cancellation is very fitting for the theme of Mercy and gives her an extra bit of validation and utility compared to other healers. One last thing I've seen is one I'm not fond of because I think it's off balance, not thematically fitting for the character, off message for her function, and just feels clunky when I think about it. Someone was inspired by her carefree victory pose and her Battle Angel intro highlight and suggested Mercy should wield her staff and pistol simultaneously. By consolidating her healing and damage boosting abilities into one stream instead of two, she could fire with the other hand. I mean, right off the bat, I know it would be possible, but somehow the idea of trying to hold both items in a tense battle scenario seems weird. Consolidating her support abilities into one stream also seems way too overpowered, especially if the values were kept at present amounts. This might satisfy the boner for murder types who think playing Mercy is boring, but I think it negatively affects what her focus should be by taking her attention off of support. Fighting and healing works for Zenyatta because his Harmony Orb is more or less fire and forget. In Lucio's case, his AoE-oriented healing is always functioning, and as such he doesn't need to think about it too hard a majority of the time. Mercy's higher concentration of healing comes at the cost of needing to be closer to her patients and having to maintain that connection without the ability to actively fight back, which encourages her to watch her surroundings and her other allies in the event they need her assistance. Basically, she doesn't need to be able to fight and heal simultaneously because she needs to be watching her team. If you pick Mercy, you should know that you're picking a character whose primary objective is friendly preservation, not hostile elimination. I love playing Mercy because I love keeping my teammates alive, and if necessary, bringing them back from beyond. But in doing so, I make myself a target and often end up making the ultimate sacrifice to try and ensure others can keep playing. There are plenty of other suggestions out there, I'm sure, but if Blizzard is going to make any more adjustments to Mercy, which they need to, I personally think balance can be achieved through minor tweaks to her current kit. If they decide to listen to the vocal moderation and add some sort of extra ability, all I can do is ask for something that provides both support and self-sustainability utilities. Or at the very least the latter, because Mercy needs more self-survivability due to her numerous vulnerabilities. What do you think, viewer? Agree? Disagree? Have your own ideas? Feel free to use the comments section below. I love reading changes for balance ideas, whether I agree with them or not. And Blizzard? Help us help our team by helping her stay alive. Just show her a little mercy. Take it easy, YouTube.